Red Dead Redemption 2 is an open-world game that... Obviously, you don't need an introduction for Red Dead Redemption 2. If you clicked on this video, that's basically enough for you. But, if you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2 before, I'd highly recommend you play it before watching this video. Unless, of course, you don't care. In all regards to that case, go ahead and watch to your heart's content. But this video will outline some of the key features of Red Dead Redemption 2 that have been cut, changed, or left unused in Red Dead Redemption 2. And trust me, there's a lot of things that have been cut. If I've gotten anything wrong, or you have any suggestions for a part 2, please leave your feedback in the comments section down below. But without further ado, and enough of me yakking, let's begin the adventure of the cut content of Red Dead Redemption 2. As some people know, the person that voiced the little kid version of Jack's voice turned out to be this individual, Marissa Buccaanti. But as fewer people know, during the development of the beta and the game, they were cycling through different voice actors for Little Jack. Some remnants of these voices have been left in the game files, and right here is an example of one of them.
Uncle Arthur! Uncle Arthur! Not much. I had fun fishing. I lost Mama's thimble. I was playing with it, and I lost it. She's gonna kill me. She'll kill me. Oh, that'd be fine. Thanks, Arthur.
I would probably say this voice was recorded after the mission of Fisher of Men, due to the mention of the necklace. Definitely is interesting to see his beta voice like this, although I could definitely see why they scrapped it, because he just sounds way too old. But here's another remnant of the voice that I found, and this voice is actually seeming a lot more fitting.
Punished. That says you've been... I'm not supposed to talk to you, can't... You know the red place? You swing your sword like this. It's easy. You're supposed to chew on when you get hurt? I'll be Achilles. You should go about it once. Get so bad I need to be... Do it. Uncle Isaiah told me you'd be Hector.
This voice does sound a lot more fitting for a 4-year-old. However, seeing that the audio clips end abruptly, I can imagine that the voice acting here is probably not complete. I'm not exactly sure if this is true or not, but I can remember Rockstar saying something about how they hired a child on set to play Jack but reversed their decision. Overall, the decision to hire Marissa was probably not a bad one, but due to child labor laws and the simple fact of trying to get a kid to act like a kid, I mean, it'd be hard enough to do. But it's still interesting to see these voice lines are still in the game files somewhere, and just interesting to look back on how the game was developed and how certain characters were coming to be. But overall, this was an interesting topic, but let's move on to the next one. The cut content of Guarma is another topic altogether. With the amount of cut content there is for this one singular island, I could probably make a whole video just explaining this island's cut content alone. However, we are going to focus on one singular little thing, that being El Hueco. I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. El Hueco translates to the hole in English, fitting because this location would have been a cave. The gang was originally supposed to stay in this cave instead of the location that was chosen. There are still remnants of this cave, such as an unmarked path leading straight to the location. As you can see, there is a path unmarked on the map that leads straight down to a location overlooking the unseen bay. However, evidence in the game files suggests that this path and this location at the end had a lot more significance, such as this image right here, pertaining to AI path noting leading straight down into the cave. It's interesting to see this because it could have been used for, why would it be there? It could have been used for the gang, it could have been used for, anything, and it just doesn't make sense why it would just be there for no reason. And at the same time, there's also this image, which you could still find in the game, if you no-clip. It's a light box for the cave. Why would there just be a random light box there? So it does prove that the cave does exist, and that location has some kind of significance. And then, of course, to prove it all off, the occlusion was still left in the game, and when converting it into a model, we get this image. This would have been the general shape of the cave, and seeing what it looks like now is honestly really cool. And finally, last but not least, these mini-map textures right here were left in the game, and it's kind of cool because we could see maybe what some of the objects in the cave could have looked like. Maybe there's a whole bunch of crates everywhere. And maybe, I don't know if the white part means there was an entrance, but maybe there could have been multiple entrances. I'm not sure. Overall, this location being cut is a shame. It really is disappointing to a lot of people what we got in Chapter 5, and it's a shame how we couldn't explore more of the island, and how it's also a shame that a lot of things got cut, such as this cave right here. It kind of left the chapter to feel more like a Naughty Dog game than it actually did a Rockstar Games game. But overall, that was the location of El Hueco. Let's move on to the next one. In the game, John looks, well... In development, however, he looked a lot cleaner and truer to his Red Dead Redemption 1 self. Even in the original 1.0.0 patch, he looked a lot better than his current state. He got really nerfed, and to be honest with you, yeah. Here are some comparison images showing John's nerf. Not much to say on this one. It was mainly due to the time constraints that Rockstar had that made John look like that. There's a mod called the John Marston Restoration Project that really does kind of bring him back to his beta model. So if you have a PC, you can install that. But other than that, it really is a shame what happened to John Marston in Red Dead 2. If Rockstar had just spent a little bit more time on the game, it would have turned into a better result. But anyways, moving on to the next topic. In the game, there are a multitude of cut missions, again having enough content to develop a whole nother video for. However, this mission was a cut train mission involving some bounty hunters. A quote from Dan Houser shows why this mission was cut and gives some insight on it. He says the following: "They were never going to work technically or be quite slick enough, or they felt
superfluous.
We removed a mission on a train where you had to deal with bounty hunters, because it was fun at first, but then it wasn't. This part of the process is always about compromise and horse trading. Everyone always loses bits of the game they love." Digging through the files shows more details about this mission. There are unused animations and text showing what the mission could have been like. According to the cutting room floor, a mission for Chapter 3 named Trey 2, or Trelawney 2, as the mission was given by Trelawney, was intended to appear in the game, which involved Arthur and Dutch fighting off bounty hunters from Boston while on a train. There exist animations for the pair hiding in a bar in Saint Denis at one point in the mission. Two unique train cars were intended to be used in this mission, and variants of these cars are reused in later missions. Arthur has a cut bounty poster that may have been used in this mission, and the cut character Niall Wellen would have been thrown out of a window during this mission. Here are also some of the cut animations shown here. Overall, it's sad to see that this mission got cut. However, Hauser himself mentioned how this mission probably wasn't going to work. My suspicion is that they cut it because it originally had them going into Saint Denis early to hide, which would have broke the immersion and mystery of first stepping into the city in Chapter 4. Overall, an interesting topic, but let's move on to the final one. New Austin itself is pretty disappointing to see in Red Dead Redemption 2. In the game, it feels empty and half-baked, as if they rushed through it to please the players. However, as some people know, during the development, it was meant to have a lot more things, and it was meant to be a lot more fleshed out and complete. Armadillo is one example of this. We all know the story of Armadillo and how it was ravaged by a plague and finished off by bandits. However, during the development, Armadillo was supposed to have bigger plans, such as some cut interiors and peds that are left over in the files, such as the church. The church has some furniture and unfinished interior inside of it. This can still be seen by using no-clip or free cam in the base game. There is also this bank, which has a fully updated and modeled interior based off of the original Red Dead Redemption. Some other things include this train station worker, which was intended to be used in Armadillo and even includes some bandaged in 1907 variants, suggesting the availability of New Austin to Arthur in 1899. There are also some low poly models of some cut rooms in the saloon, including a bath and a bedroom. Overall, it is a shame that Armadillo and New Austin as a whole turned out the way it did. I really would have liked to see what Armadillo looked like in the game had it had been completed in Red Dead Redemption 2. However, the time constraints of Red Dead Redemption 2 led to the utter downfall of New Austin in Red Dead Redemption 2. Overall, the cut content of Red Dead Redemption 2 is a shame. It really would have been a cool thing to see what we could have gotten and opposed to what we didn't. It really would have been cool to see all this content added to the game. However, it is probably best to think about what we did get as opposed to what we didn't. Well, that's going to conclude the video. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell for post notifications. This video was definitely different for me because I've never done a video like this before. Like, literally ever. Editing this video was different. It was definitely just a different experience overall for me. If you like this kind of video, I might make one in the future. I might not. I don't know how much I really like this in general. But if you want to, like I said, if you want to see more, make sure to, just comment down below. I don't know if this video is going to get 50 views or 500 views. I don't know. I really don't. But like I said before, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell for post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.